Welcome to the ultimate Christmas guide for men, how to navigate Christmas without restriction or hitting the fuck it button. If you don't know who I am, I'm Tom. I've been working in the fitness industry for over 10 years now, 6 years working as an in-person personal trainer, and the last 4 years working online, and then more recently, and more specifically, working with men. And even more specifically than that, working with more desk-bound men, men that spend the majority of their days sat down at the desk, not moving a lot, and naturally feel that their energy decreases, weight creeps on, their fitness gets worse. So this is what I help them to achieve without having to give up all of the things that they enjoy in life and tailor making it to the more sedentary life that they naturally have to lead because of their job. But the reason you downloaded this guide is because you want to be able to enjoy Christmas and to know how you can enjoy Christmas without waking up on January 1st feeling like a bag of smashed arseholes like you probably have done on all the previous years. Most men hit January feeling heavier, feeling sluggish, feeling low on confidence, and a bit annoyed at themselves for allowing December to get out of hand again. And it's certainly an experience that I've had in years gone by, where I go into December thinking I'm going to stay somewhat in control, but enjoy myself, and then all moderation goes out the window. And January 1st, I'm 10 pounds heavier, I'm feeling really crap, I'm feeling really regretful, and it's not a great way to start the new year. But if you're stuck or struggling with your fitness already, then December will just make everything worse because you mentally check out, you eat for the sake of it, and you use Christmas as a free pass to just avoid taking care of yourself and to avoid responsibilities. But here's the thing, if you want to wake up on January 1st feeling pretty good about yourself and not actually feeling like you've lost out, you can. You just need to stay switched on enough to avoid digging a bigger hole. You don't need to restrict, you just need to stay switched on. This guide is designed to give you a simple and realistic way to enjoy Christmas, to enjoy the food, to enjoy the beer if you want it, to enjoy the downtime without entering 2026 feeling like you're towing a caravan up a steep hill. And don't worry, as I mentioned, this guide isn't going to be about restriction. It's not going to be about diets. It's not going to be about missing out on things that you actually want to enjoy or exercising through guilt. It's just going to give you a clear plan that stops you from ending up in an absolute pickle and in a worse position come January. Because there's two ways that Christmas can go for you. You can either say, fuck it, and spend the next 3 or 4 weeks eating absolutely everything in sight, drinking everything in sight, having zero moderation, zero movement, zero exercise, gain a stone, roll into January, figuratively and sometimes literally, feeling really slow, feeling really sluggish and annoyed at yourself for building this bigger mountain for you to climb. Or you can follow these simple steps, enjoy yourself and come out of 2025 feeling your best. But firstly, I want you to ask yourself a question for a second. How do you actually want Christmas to go? If you think about previous years, and there's no right or wrong answer to this, do you want this year to be different to previous years? If the answer is yes, and you want to enjoy Christmas without going off the rails for just the entire month of December, you're definitely in the right place. And following these pages will show you how to do that. Because you definitely don't want a Christmas like this one that I had when I was about 24.
100 pigs and blankets.
This is my 100th pig and blanket.
Come on, mate, chew it.
At least
You got it.
Look nice and good on your
It
story.
was lean when he started. That's it.
So that was me eating 100 pigs in blankets. I was challenged by a gym that I worked in at the time to do this challenge that was going around on social media because they knew I was an absolute glutton. I used to lose 30 pounds for a photo shoot, then I would gain it all back again and then some because I just go through these cycles of restriction versus eating everything in sight. And it reminded me of Christmas. We quite often feel like throughout the year, all the things that we shouldn't be eating, we restrict ourselves on. And then as soon as December hits, it's like the floodgates open. So I want to teach you how you can actually eat everything you want to eat in moderation for the majority of the year.
So, you completed it in 36 minutes, 100 pigs and blankets.
And I didn't feel great afterwards, as you can see. So principle number 1, I want you to focus on the occasion instead of focusing on the food and instead of eating like it's your last meal. And here's how we're going to do it. Remember, as I just mentioned, that no food is off limits ever. You don't need to restrict yourself on any type of food or any form of food at any point. You are an adult. You're not a child that's being told that you can't have the chocolate bar that you want to have. And if you're following a health and fitness plan that's actually made for you and is made to be sustainable, there shouldn't ever be any foods that are off limits. And as soon as you decide to rule out a certain type of food, call it a bad food, call it a food that you shouldn't be eating, it becomes that forbidden fruit. And it tends to be the only thing that you can ever think about. So this Christmas, remember that you don't have to just eat certain types of food in December. You can eat whatever you want. You can have a Terry's chocolate orange in January if you want. And if you have a plan that's actually made for you and is showing you how you can sustain results, then you should be able to eat things that you want in moderation and still get the results that you really want to get. Know your limits. In my experience, everything that I've ever had in excess quite quickly turns from enjoyment into sabotage. Whether it was food, whether it was drink, whether it was drugs in my younger days, too much of anything that's actually enjoyable quickly turns unenjoyable and it turns into sabotaging myself for the coming days, weeks, and months. So be careful because it's a very blurry line between enjoyment and sabotage. But most importantly, have fun, enjoy the occasion, and don't just focus on the food. Actually enjoy feeling connected with people, feeling that you can be present with people, with the people you care about. It's not about restriction, it's about remaining in control. Principle number 2 is to increase activity. When you're already out of routine and eating more, the worst thing that you can do is to just stop moving completely. December is busier, it's darker, it's colder, there's so much going on, there's more chaos, which means if you don't actually get things done and prioritize it and get things done early, it's probably not going to get done. I know if I don't go to the gym in the morning, I'm not going to get out after I've had my dinner, when it's nice and warm in the house and it's freezing outside and raining. I'm not going to do it. I need to get things done early in the morning. So if I don't move early, I'm probably not going to move at all. Please remember that movement isn't just about burning calories. It's about improving your mood, reducing that kind of sluggishness feeling, that foggy brain that you get. It's about staying healthy, aiding the digestion of all the food that you're going to be eating and keeping good circulation. So follow this. Do something every single morning. Steps, go to the gym, anything that you enjoy, walk daily, even if it's just 10 to 20 minutes, get your family out for a nice walk. If you naturally tend to sit on the sofa a lot over Christmas, go for a nice walk. If you're near me, Worthing based, the South Downs are right there. Or if you're in the South, there are so many lovely walks you can do. And on that matter, I run a monthly walk and talk every single month for men to go up onto the South Downs for a couple of hours just to get a bit of exercise, to have a chat with some good lads. And there's one happening this month as well for that exact reason, to get guys moving even in December. So avoid the sofa becoming that default setting and just aim for small realistic things. Short workouts for the win. 20 is plenty. If you can get 20 minutes of exercise in most days or at least a few times throughout the week, then that's more than enough over the Christmas period. Try and keep your sleep-wake times roughly the same. Of course, you're probably going to be waking up a little bit later and going to bed a little bit later. Anything more than that, you're just going to make things really, really difficult for yourself when you do go back to work in the new year. So try and keep your sleep-wake times at least roughly the same. If you do normally sleep 10 till 6, don't change it till 1 till 9 because it is going to leave you feeling really groggy when it comes to the new year and you've got to get back to work. Principle number 3 is to plan ahead. Step away from that all or nothing mindset that we all have drilled into us and choose to have high quality food when you're not socializing. Just because it's December doesn't mean that the whole month has to be a free for all. You can still go out and enjoy your work stews, any parties you want to go to, any meals out to the absolute fullest. And then the next day, go back to a normal level of eating where you're actually controlling the food that you're eating because you are in control. No one else is making the food for you. So make meals easy. Turn to ready meals, batch cook things, use a slow cooker. There's a really good book that we use called Board of Lunch, which just gives you some really easy and quite tasty recipes that you can chuck in the slow cooker. It takes 10 minutes to prepare and you've got your meals made up for the next few nights. But it has to be something that works for you. If you've got kids, obviously it needs to be something that works for you and your lifestyle. Completely forget calories on Christmas Day and probably forget them on Boxing Day as well. Obviously, try and avoid ending up in a complete food coma, but have everything that you want on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Don't worry about it. But don't weigh yourself. Never jump on the scales unless you really are genuinely curious to see how much food you've got inside you, because that's all it's going to be. It's going to be extra food weight. If you jump on the scales on Boxing Day, you're probably going to be 5, 6, 7. I was about 10 pounds up one morning on Boxing Day from just generally having so much food inside of me. You don't put on that amount of weight overnight. And if you do overdo it, don't over restrict yourself the next day. You might not feel particularly hungry the next day, so you're naturally going to eat less and you might choose to eat less, but don't do it out of guilt. Don't do it because you feel that you shouldn't have eaten what you ate yesterday. Just go back to normal. So don't over restrict because that just becomes a vicious cycle. Not everyone has the same goals as you either. So expect a bit of peer pressure when you are out. And if you don't want to drink to excess, if you don't want to eat to excess, plan how you're actually going to handle it. No can be a complete sentence. If you don't plan ahead, it probably isn't going to get done. So actually stick to some sort of structure and some sort of plan throughout the month of December. Even when you're off work, you can still stick to a normal routine. And then when you do go out to socialize, you can enjoy those to the absolute fullest. The goal isn't perfection. It's just to have a December that looks better than the previous year. Principle number 4 is to be mindful. There's always going to be more food. Food isn't going anywhere. There's going to be more desserts. As I mentioned before, you can have whatever you want at any point throughout the year. You are a grown-up. No one should be telling you when you can and can't have foods. So adopting this mindset is going to lower the attachment for you to need to eat certain foods just because it's the Christmas period. By all means, enjoy them, have the things that you want to have, but don't get too carried away. Food isn't going anywhere. You can have these foods in moderation throughout the rest of the year and still achieve your health and fitness goals when you've got the right plan and it teaches you how. Make smart choices. There's always going to be a better option. Be aware of whether you actually want that next drink or that next snack, whether you're just eating because you're bored or you're hungry or you're just copying others. Be aware whether you're slipping into that fuck it mode, that I'll start again Monday or I'll just start again in the new year mode. And keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, that line between enjoyment and sabotage, it's a very blurry, fine line, and you can quite quickly slip from enjoying something into just sabotaging yourself to feel crap. Pick heavy, moderate, and light social events. If you have a whole number of social events over the month of December, pick the ones that you are going to be heavy at. When I meet up with my mates, sometimes I don't see them for 6 months. We meet up every Christmas. We're going to have a curry. We're going to have 7, 8 beers. We're going to have a bit of a piss up. But that's the only one throughout the month of December that I'm really going to allow myself to have that. The other ones that I go to, I'm probably going to have moderate. I'm going to have light ones. I'll drive to some just to keep myself from having those drinks that I probably will end up having. High volume foods, lean proteins. If you don't want to go crazy with the calories, stick to lots of veggies, lots of high volume foods, leaner proteins rather than the fattier proteins. And just remember that you are the boss of what goes in your mouth. This isn't about being good. This isn't about battering yourself or beating yourself up. It's not about treating your body like a human rubbish bin. It's about actually taking ownership for you. You are the boss. No one tells you what you can and can't do, and no one tells you what you should and shouldn't eat. And principle number 5 is to slow down your eating. Chew your food. Actually take time to eat and to feel the flavors and to taste the flavors. Enjoy the conversation instead of focusing on just finishing the meal. Give yourself 20 to 30 minutes before going in for seconds. Use the hunger scale. Don't let yourself get below a 3. Don't let yourself go above an 8. The 8 is where you're feeling absolutely stuffed. The 3 is when you're feeling pretty hungry and you're starting to growl. Keep yourself between there. Eat slowly. Allow your brain to catch up with the signals that your stomach is sending it to say that you're actually feeling full. Drink water with your meal, especially if you're drinking alcohol. Just take sips in between mouthfuls. It will allow you to feel fuller a little bit more quickly, but it's also going to massively aid digestion, concentration, focus if you need that, which you probably will. And the outcome as a result is you're going to enjoy your Christmas more than ever before because you're going to be present. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling alert. You're going to feel great in yourself. You're going to feel confident about your future results in the new year. And if you're looking for some help with your health and fitness in the new year, then why not register for my completely free 14-day weight loss program starting on January the 5th. You can either drop me a message with the word January if you want to know a little bit more before signing up, or you can just scan this QR code and register your spot before the 25 free spaces fill out. It's for men that want to lose weight, gain their fitness, regain their energy, regain that spark for life, but actually learn how to enjoy life at the same time, to not be restricted, to not have to cut things out, to be able to have a couple of beers at the weekend if you want them. So if you're interested, it's completely free. You've got nothing to lose. There's no obligation to join anything afterwards. January the 5th we start. Scan the QR code if you want to grab your spot before they go, or if you want a bit more information, just send me the word January wherever you've got me on Instagram, if you've got me on emails, if you've got me on Facebook, just ping me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have an amazing Christmas. Thank you so much for watching this, and I look forward to seeing you on my challenge on the 5th of January.